welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing an exploration into R&B. This is a redo. I wasn't real happy with my first foray into R&B because it had been a really long time since I actually had attempted to do any R&B tracks. So this time I did a little research. Okay, so this one has more kind of an updated kind of Chris Brown feel to it, and I'm gonna just kind of start off with what I did with the chord structure of the song. So let me just let you hear that. Okay, so that's what I'm doing with the kind of the bass of the track, the kind of the rhythm of the track. And I went old school on you. So I pulled out a Korg Workstation, and I'm using a sound called African Sunset, and it is like a really kind of a plucky sound. But it's an old school Workstation sound. So I pulled that out of the bag of tricks, and I'm combined it with a little bit of an echo. So there's a little echo in there. It's an analog echo using the Echo Boy. And I promise you, I have like going ham with these sound toys processors or effects. I have like, I just didn't realize how good these things were. So I've like really been loving the Echo Boy and the Crystallizer. Oh, I can't get enough of using both of them. So I've added a little bit of echo using the Echo Boy. And the next thing I did was, so I had to have like a little bit of a melody in there. So I added this for melody. It's just a basic little piano sound that I pulled from my contact libraries. And this is a, hold on, let me pull this up. It's from the Signal. This is an output plug-in. So it's from the Signal Pulse Engine library. So it's got a really good sound to it. It's kind of a spacey kind of sound, which is kind of cool. And then from there, I added more texture by adding this. So it's just kind of a pad. So nothing special about it. It's just a pad to kind of give it a little bit of a layer. And I'm using Contact for that too. I use Contact quite a bit in a lot of my productions. And my Contact library is pretty big, so I'm always looking for new Contact libraries. And eventually I'm going to upgrade from Ultimate 11 to Ultimate 12. But at this point in time, I just don't see the need to, because they haven't really made any major changes. I know Massive is due to come out in February, but it's almost like, is it really worth the upgrade when all you're getting is a new Contact player? Or the full version of Contact and an updated Massive. I just don't see the benefit quite yet, but we'll wait and see what else happens. And then they've the other thing about Native Instruments is that they created that Ultimate Collection that pretty much gives you like everything that they have, which actually is more attractive because it includes that big string library there, which is a professional string library that they've spent a lot of time on, which would be kind of cool to have. So I'm looking at that. I just haven't pulled the trigger on anything because I guess I'll just wait and see what happens with Massive. But What I'm using for the pad is Gravity. Gravity is made by a company called Heaviosity. And this is not your average plugin. It's more geared towards film, because it has a lot of like film based textures in it. So just kind of be wary of that if you're gonna try to buy this. You may want to do your research before you actually purchase this thing. I got lucky and found it on sale through Sweetwater. Gosh, back in the summer, early part of the summer, it was like half price, which was is unreal. I never saw it on sale like that. So, but since I've had it, I've experimented with it. It's been a real funny plugin to play with because again, it's more geared towards film production. So I try to blend in some of the sounds that I find, more the ones that are tonal, meaning that they sound like musical instruments. Some of the stuff in here is not designed that way. It's more geared towards building out kind of dramatic kind of effects for films. So, but I did get a chance to really start using it lately on my animation projects. On that last project that I did with the droids, I was able to actually use this quite a bit for the opening sequence, which was kind of cool. But okay, moving forward. All right, so I added a little texture in there with the pads, and then for my bass, I'm using the Heated Up 3. It's just a regular old sub, nothing special with that. So percussion. So I went a little ham on this one on the percussion. So I've got some hats in here. So I've got a reverse hat going. And I've got a drum sample going. Trying something new. I normally don't do drum samples. Most of the time I'm just programming my MPC to do the drum stuff, but I wanted to do something more complex and really that had like a lot of texture to it, and I found this great sample on Splice that pretty much did what I was wanting. I'm taking just a little bit of a hiatus off of my MPC for just a little bit. I think after a while I get a little burned out on trying to program it. And with learning all these new DAWs and trying to implement it with the DAW is a little frustrating at times. I haven't been able to get it to work 100% properly in Logic, but it works great in Ableton. So I've been doing a lot of track creation with it in Ableton, and maybe that's just how it's going to have to be, and I'll have to kind of maybe use battery more for my drums when I'm using Logic, or maybe venture out into my Falcon collection and start using more of my drum collection from UVI. So I've got a drum sample in there, and I've got some triangles, which is, that's different. And then I've got, what is this thing? I can't remember right now. Let's see what this is. I think it's a Vox. Let's see, track number 8. Is there really anything on number 8? So I've got like a bunch of tracks in here right now. Oh, I see what it is. It's another layered pad. Okay, so in the verse, what I did was the very first part of the verse, I made it kind of empty to leave room for the vocals, if vocals need to go there. And then the second part of the verse is more of a build up to get to the chorus. So in my build-up, I added some textural elements, which is just this pad that you're hearing here. So I have that playing, and then also I have another kind of a lead sound going that's a textural build-up that so that it's not 100% empty. But my problem with this sound is that it's such a thick sound that it almost is overpowering, so I'm having trouble like kind of blending it in. So I may have to do some more tweaking with it. Okay, so that's all of the parts, and I'm just gonna let it play. And this is R&B Exploration Redo. So that is it. So the rest of the track, it goes back into another verse, and then we have a chorus and then the outro. So nothing super special happening at the outro. Just kind of drop out some of the instrumentation, the drums drop out, and I just kind of leave it going. But it would, really, the end of the song would be dependent on the vocalist, on whether you want to extend it out to maybe do another verse or like a bridge or whatever. So I normally like to try to leave the songs kind of open at the end because you really don't know what's going to happen with it. Well, that is all I have for this particular exploration. Please help the channel out by subscribing, like it if you do, and leave comments. I'm always looking forward to talking to you guys.